Hello and welcome to the workshop. On today's episode, I was meant to be turning this blank, but as you can see, I've still got wet resin dripping off it. So unfortunately today, that's not going to happen. But I do have a project that's been sitting on my shelf for a while that I think I can work with. I have this cool color shifting blank. Now this blank has been sitting on the shelf since the 14th of August last year. So I think it's about time I did something with it. Now, even though this blank has been sitting on my shelf for over 8 months, I've always planned to turn it on the lathe. Now, in order to do that, I need some way of mounting it to my chuck. So the first thing I need to do is glue on one of my waste blocks. Now, since this blank is already pre-made, you guys didn't get to see how I got to this stage. Now, while the glue's drying on my waste block, I'm going to take another piece of burl that I have, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Now I'm sure most of you guys have seen my vlogs where I take a chunk of burl, I cut it into rounds and then stabilize it. Now if you guys haven't seen those episodes, I'll put a link at the top here or in the description down below. Now once I've got these rounds, I paint them black and then I can apply my color shift powder. And that's what I'm going to show you guys right now. So the first thing I need to do is take some tacket. Now I like to water it down a little bit with some water. Now you don't need too much, just a little splash. Then add my tacket, give that a quick mix. Now once I've got this mixture, I can paint it over the burl. Now I just apply this with a paintbrush, and you just want a nice even coat, and you want to try not to get too many lumps if possible. Okay, now I'll just leave this to dry for a few minutes. So it's now been a few minutes, and as you can see, the tack-on has now gone clear. And that's how you know it's pretty much dry and ready to go. And if you touch it, it'll still be quite tacky, hence the name tacket. Now the next step is to apply your color shifting powder. Now this one is red, orange and gold, and it's a super chameleon. I always like to give it a tap. Otherwise, when you take the lid off, sometimes the powder can spill out. Now the way I apply this is with a makeup brush. Now you don't need too much on your brush, just a little bit, just like that. And then you can just start rubbing it on. And a little bit goes a real long way. Whoop, I just popped my end off. I'm not sure if there's a technical name for these. I just call them makeup brushes. They might be for eyeshadow, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Nicole that one. Now, this one looks beautiful. I love color shifting powders. So now that we have all the color shifting powder on, the next thing I need to do is stick this piece of burl inside this cup, and then we can mix up some resin. Now all I have to do is pop this in the pressure pot to cure overnight. So now that you guys know how I got to this stage, it's time to take this blank and turn it on the lathe. some bad chip out there. Now, like I've said in the past, don't chase your chip out. So some real light passes over that now should get it out. Let's see if that was enough. Yep, not bad. You can see there that nearly all that chip out's gone now. So if you do get chip out, just real light passes and it should come out. So by now, most of you probably know what I'm making, and I just want to ask a little favour. Please don't hate on me. As you can see, I'm turning a wooden resin egg. Now normally when I turn eggs on the channel, I get a lot of hate. People say that I turn eggs on the channel all the time. Well, I was actually looking through my old videos, and the last time I turned a Berlin resin egg was 2.5 years ago. It was when I did the 24 karat gold bar in resin. So it has been a while, so please don't hate on me. So now that I have my main shape, I'm going to go to my skew chisel and get these tooling marks out. So now that all the turning's finished, the next step is to start sanding. Still got to buy myself that new chuck. I often see questions from my new subscribers asking me why I swap lathes to sand. Well, as you can see on the back wall here, sanding can be quite messy, and that's mainly because I wet sand a lot. So the reason I sand on this lathe is a lot cheaper, that way I don't damage my good one. While I'm over there sanding, I wanted to let you guys know that I've just added some new eggs to the Etsy store, and anyone who buys an egg between now and the end of the month will get a free pocket hug. So if anyone's interested, I'll leave a link in the description, and also this egg that I'm sanding over here will be in the store too. Now that I've finished sanding, I can part it off, clean up the bottom, and then we can start polishing. Remember the blank that I made at the start of the episode? Well, it's now time to take it out of the pot and have a look. Looks very nice. Let's get it out of this cup. Now most of the time they do come out, but then you do get the odd one that's a pain. Now I could just cut it off, but I do like to save my cups because I reuse them. This one's being a bit stubborn. I might have to cut it off. Well, there it is. It looks just like its bigger brother. Now if I get time before this video goes up, I'm also going to turn this one and put it in the store. Well, I guess it's now time to check out this beautiful egg. But before we do, if you guys like this video, please consider hitting the like button. It really helps me out a lot. And also, if it's your first time here and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. I put new videos out every week. Now let's check out this egg.